We've got Mark Wahlberg, we've got a really cute dog, and we've got an uplifting true story. Let's talk about Arthur the King. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new movie Arthur the King. This is playing in theaters right now, and it features Mark Wahlberg reteaming with his director from The Family Plan, Simon Selin Jones. We'll talk about this story in just a second and my thoughts on it. But first, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We've got movie and TV reviews on the channel, and just about every day I try to post something. So there's always a lot to check out. You can look at the playlist on the homepage as well. They will kind of streamline what you're looking for: 2023 movies, 2024 movies, 2023 TV reviews, and we've started with the 2024 ones as well there. So always a lot to check out. So please consider subscribing and click that like button and comment below. All that stuff, of course, helps the channel out. All right, so this is based on a true story and the book about this true story, Arthur the Dog Who Crossed the Jungle to Find a Home, and that is by Michael Lindnord. They have changed the last name of the main guy here, Michael, who is portrayed in the film by Mark Wahlberg. He is now Michael Light, which for me, I don't love that last name change. You can change the last name, but I don't know. It's a little on the nose to call him Michael Light. This is, an uplifting story, shining a light on this guy. I don't know. It's a little hokey of a name change, but they've also changed a couple other sort of background details, I guess we should say. But the main story involves this guy, Michael, who is the captain of an adventure racing team, and they meet this stray dog along the way named Arthur in Ecuador, and they feed him some meatballs, and then they see him again way later on the trail, and they're like, oh my god, this can't be the same dog, and sure enough it is, and so he helps them with this race through the Dominican Republic. So that is one of the things that has changed. The original race did not take place in the Dominican Republic, and the makeup of the team surrounding him has changed a bit as well, because in the real story they are all Swedish, and so you have obviously a whole bunch of very white people doing the race, and obviously we want to be diverse here. So Simu Liu is actually one of the members of the team. We know him from many things, including Shang-Chi, the Marvel movie. But so he is part of the team, as well as Natalie Emmanuel, Ali Suleiman, and then you also have here Juliet Rylance as Helena Light, who is Michael's wife. And I was unfamiliar with her, but I certainly know that last name, Rylance, and sure enough, she is Academy Award-winning actor Mark Rylance's daughter. So that's pretty cool. Didn't know he had, some acting children, but she does, a fine job here. And I should also point out the dog. We talk all about the cast all the time, but as Arthur the dog is Yukai, or Ukai, and he is portraying Arthur in this film. So while a lot of that sort of, background stuff has changed from the true story, a lot of the stuff with Arthur and a lot of these specifics about the race are straight out of this guy's real life journey. And it's really, really interesting. Now, when I went into this, I did not realize it was even about racing. I don't do trailers if I can help it. So I knew it was about Mark Wahlberg and a dog. And the dog doesn't even show up for almost half the movie, probably about 40 minutes maybe. Well, I guess he shows up a little bit and they feed him the meatball, and then they run into him again 10 or 15 minutes after that, and at that point it's about halfway through the movie, which I don't know, I have mixed feelings about, because I think if people want to go see a movie about a guy and his dog, maybe a little bit more of the dog would have been appropriate. But look, we have a lot of background with some of these characters, kind of fleshing out their stories a little bit. And on the team itself, I think we get the most, other than from the Michael character and his wife. I think we get the most out of the Simu Liu background. He plays a guy named Leo. And so, that's fine. And I'm not like a super dog lover. I'm more of a cat man myself. But I do like a dog movie. And I don't know. I guess I expected to see the dog a little bit sooner. But in any event, this was directed, like I mentioned, by Simon Selin Jones, and he directed The Family Plan, which I reviewed a few weeks ago. That was an Apple TV Plus exclusive film that came out late in 2023. And Mark Wahlberg loves working with the same directors. There's been, I think, at least 2 or 3 directors, not even including this guy, that he's worked with in multiple situations. And The Family Plan, look, I didn't love it. It was a pretty typical, straight to streaming family action comedy type of movie. But this one, I think they found their footing a little bit more, and I think it's a more gripping story as well. It is a bit by the numbers, in terms of achievements, and I don't know if you could call it necessarily a sports movie, but certainly it hits a lot of those goalposts for a movie of this kind, and uplifting. I guess you could call it a sports movie, right? Certainly a race is a sport. And Wahlberg, he is really carving out a niche for himself with this kind of, I don't know, like everyman type of character, but they all have, heart, but they all have, big brawn as well. But a lot of them have a good head on their shoulders too, a good brain. And here, and he admits as the character, he's like, I don't even really like dogs that much, but he falls in love with this dog, Arthur, who does actually end up helping them on their journey to finish this race. I will say, if you're a fan of Saturday Night Live and the old Andy Samberg bit where he portrays Mark Wahlberg talking to the animals, I mean, some of these scenes with Wahlberg actually talking to the Arthur character, it's like straight out of that. It was a little bit humorous. I know it wasn't intentional, but it makes me respect the Andy Samberg impression actually even more, because it definitely, every time, I thought he was going to tell Arthur to say hello to your mother for me, in that Boston accent. But anyway, look, overall, this is a slightly positive movie. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's definitely going to scratch a spot for, family viewing, perhaps over the Easter holiday or what have you, where this could be a nice popcorn night, for a date night. There's nothing here really that's offensive or anything like that. It's a nice family movie that happens to be a pretty true and remarkable story. So I will leave Arthur the King with a B-, and you can check that out in theaters now. Thank you for watching Dan Reviews It, and we'll see you next time. Bye.